lift it all the way through the top 90 like that and kind of hold it. Foot plants can be brought into any area of the mountain.
It's always easier to do a hard trick when you know all the little things.
Basically, like, in the air, far enough, you just want to poke it out.
While you're spinning, you're going to think about getting your body to this exact angle that you're at, leaning into it.
Locking right between your feet, and then turning. Right, so we're going to come a little heel edge, rotate a little bit, boom, you're in the air. As you go up the wall, you slowly kind of stand up and have a generate some torque.
Keep your head tucked into your front shoulder, kind of spot you landing through there, and once you get to 630, basically.
A little bit.
People think they gotta have like some huge like upper body strength.
How's it going? Jeremy Jones, and today I'm gonna teach you how to ollie. Okay, the first step to the ollie is going to be riding in on a flat base. We're going to be starting at flat ground ollies. All you're going to do is roll in flat base, because that's where all your pop's going to come from. If you're on your heel or your toe, your pop changes and it's a little inconsistent. So as you're rolling in, the main thing you're going to want to do is just crouch down and get ready for your spring. And your spring's going to come up 3/4 from your back leg. That's where all your pop's going to come from. And so the main idea is to load up your tail. And when I say load, I mean just get the flex going in your board. And then as soon as your board comes to the lip or your ollie point, that's when you just need to release your back leg up. And that's where your pop comes from. And then just carry your ollie over. Do whatever style you want to do, and then set up for your landing, which is just like any other landing. You come down, straighten your legs a little bit, and absorb it, and right away. So to progress in snowboarding, I'll kind of take it back to learning the ollie is, overall snowboarding, the best way to get control is just cruising around the mountain. Don't go through the park, and don't go through the back country and hit cliffs and build kickers. Just cruise the runs and snap around, snap 180s off rollers, go fast, use your edges. That's where all your control comes from, and that's where you get your confidence to do anything on a snowboard. So spend your time on the runs and dial it in.
Hi, I'm Leanne Pelosi, and I'm going to teach you how to do a board slide to fakie. So I'm slightly on my heels, but pretty much flat base. And as you're leaving, you're gonna pop. You wanna get your front foot over. And then as your board gets on the rail, you're gonna land a little bit further down. And you're gonna wanna keep equal pressure on both feet. And you wanna look to the end of the rail. Something that helps is as you're popping onto the rail, to keep your hands in front of you, because then it keeps your board flat on the rail. Sometimes when you're first trying them, you'll go onto the rail like this and slip out on your heel edge, and you don't want to do that. And you want to make sure you get your foot over the rail, because another common problem that kids have is that they don't ollie high enough and then they catch their nose. So you just need enough speed to get your front foot over the rail and on. As you're halfway down the rail, you're just going to be wanting to focus on keeping your board super steezy and completely centered, and you're just going to focus on the landing. So you've done all the steps to where now you're almost going to stomp your trick, and the last thing that you need to focus on is as you're about here, you get your shoulders and you just kind of wind them up, and you want to pop off with both feet and turn your shoulders, do the last 90, and then you ride away switch. You stomp it. And then you go, yeah.
Hey, this is Jordan Mendenhall, and I'm going to show you backside 180s. Let's go.
Okay, here's what I do on 180s. I come in, take a really mellow heel side turn. So you're coming up the lip pretty much straight, but on just not flat base, a little bit on your toes. And then I really don't initiate a spin at all off the lip. I kind of just try to ollie, and as I'm ollieing, just turn my head. And I really don't rotate with my arms at all. I just kind of look, turn my head and my shoulders a little bit and look, and just pretty much go 90 degrees. And you can see the ground coming in. It's really easy when you get 90 degrees to just turn your legs the rest of the 90 degrees. And if you come up a little shy of 180, it's fine because you land on your toes and you can always ride it out. So it's good to learn just to pop 90 like that and kind of hold it, and then kind of turn the last 180 after you're in the air. Don't do like one continuous rotation because that's really easy to over-rotate. You can do pretty much any grab. They're all really fun. Like backside 180s are the funnest tricks. The grab that I like to do is either a regular stale fish or a regular indie and poke my back foot, just so it's a little different. Pretty much any grab of the backside 180 always looks awesome. When I go up, when I'm 90 degrees, you can see the landing coming super easy. For me, it's easier just to, when I'm coming around 90, just to look at the landing and just stare at it until I land, you know, like this, and then look up. That's always been how I do it, but it just depends on how it feels in the air and what you feel comfortable with. But yeah, I think board control is definitely the most important thing, and also what I would do is try and learn to ride everything. I mean, learn how to ride half pipe, learn how to ride rails, learn to ride the park, learn to ride powder if possible, you know. Don't just stick to one thing, try and learn everything, and that's how you'll get to be the best snowboarder that you can be.
Hey, what's up? This is Pat Moore. We are here at Breckenridge, Colorado, and this is their wonderful quarter pipe, and I'm going to be teaching you some foot plants. The way that I do it is I just go up about, you know, halfway, 1/3 of the way up the quarter pipe, throw up my front foot, grab Indy, and plant my back foot down and try and stall there for a second, then hop back in. And you know, after you start feeling comfortable at that speed, go a little bit faster and a little bit faster until you're at the lip. All right, so here we are at the bottom of the quarter. Some real key ingredients to this trick is when you're going up to do your foot plant, the best way to do it is go straight up and down. That way when you stall, you actually kind of just hover there for a second, and then you can go right back down that same track. Another key thing is at the coping, once you get to the top of the quarter, you want to give a pretty good jump and throw your front foot up in front of you, so then you can get a good grab, and you just throw your back leg underneath you and get on the coping. So you're just like this in the air, and then when you come back down, you give another little jump and just land back in that same position as you dropped in on. For me, the most common mistake when trying this trick is coming in too hot with too much speed. That is not only scary, but it can be dangerous because you can always hook your nose and you know, fly back into the quarter. It's very important that you take things slow, you know, step by step, make sure you're comfortable with what you're trying, and that always makes it more fun because when you land it, you know, you put in some work to it and you're not just chucking your meat.
Hey, how's it going? This is Nima Jalali. We're headed up to Bear Mountain in Big Bear Lake, California today to do some trick tips. And my trick tip is a frontside board slide. So the weather looks good and the snow conditions look good, so let's cruise up there and see what the deal is. The angle you want to take on a frontside board slide is pretty parallel to the rail, but you don't want to be completely parallel. If you come too close to it, you're not going to give yourself a chance to like get your nose up and over. You're going to be too close to it, so it's just going to hit. That's not good because you'll take a slam like that. So you want to come a little bit further away at that little bit of an angle. Once you reach this part, this is when you want to be ollieing right here. You ollie up, and once you find that your nose is above the rail, that's when you turn 90. You don't want to, you know, jump on like this, because if you're on like this, you're gonna catch your edge and fall back. And you also don't want to get onto your foot. Maybe you can learn them on your foot, but once you get them down, you're gonna want to do them right in between your bindings. They always look better like that. If you're on your foot, your board's just gonna be sagging kind of like this, and that just doesn't look as cool. When you're locked in like this, you're gonna want to be looking with your shoulder, like looking down at the end of the rail like this with your shoulder open. That way you'll come out to regular every time. All right, so at this point you're about to be at the end of the rail. You want to make sure that you don't start turning out before you hit the end of the rail. You just kind of keep it locked in at 90. Keep it coming, and then right when you find yourself at the very end, you come off, and then you turn out and you ride away. You don't want to like get excited and start turning it right here and then ride away. And another thing you can do is bring it to fakie, which is a little bit harder, but it looks a little bit cooler. You know, think about tricks and think about like progression and what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. And if you can see it in your head, then you know you can do it. And be creative, and you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Maybe you'll invent a new trick, you never know.
So I'm Hampus Mosen, and I'm here to show you frontside nose grab in the pipe. Just take normal speed to the frontside wall, not too much first try, and then just go on your toe edge and pretty much just try to follow the pipe, like the wall, how it's heading, and then you pretty much will end up in a good way, I guess. Pop is really different from pipe to pipe. Like some pipes are really vert, some are not, so just take it easy to start with, and then you'll feel if you have to pop or not. These are all my tracks from today, and as you see, I'm pretty much on my toe edge from that side of the wall all the way up, just trying to follow down with the pipe on my toe edge. And once you land, you pretty much want to land flat base and then go on your heels to get to the backside wall. When you go up on the frontside wall to get the nose, I just pretty much turn my lower body pretty much 90, I would say, and then just bring up my front leg and grab my nose, and then pretty much hold it and just feel good about it. Don't try it super high the first try, just go mellow, and it's really fun to just grab your nose and then put your tail on the lip. So try that a couple of times, not too high, and then just start carrying more and more speed into it. You gotta practice to get up there, that's for sure. It's not gonna happen in one day. It'll take some time. The only really good advice is to ride with your buddies and have fun, I think. That's how I learned. Just hang out with